What's up guys, and welcome to my first official YouTube video. This video is going to be about me answering everyone's questions, explaining everything, what happened, and why it happened. So let's just get on to the video. So before I start the video, I just want to thank each and one of you who prayed for my family and supported us and watches my videos on TikTok and encouraged me to start a YouTube video. So I just want to thank you guys. But anyways, let's just now. A week prior to Thanksgiving, I had my OB appointment, and that's just where I go and they check baby and they check his heartbeat and they check my blood pressure and everything like that and make sure everything is all right. I had concerning questions, like I would wake up and have really bad vision, and that was a sign of preeclampsia. I was also working really hard throughout my pregnancy. I was working 2 jobs at the time and just really, was always on my feet, which wasn't good obviously. So they were always swollen. So I told my doctor what I thought was like weird. I was like, this is not right. And they were like, oh, it's okay, it's common in pregnancies. So I was like, oh, okay, so I'm fine. A couple of days after my appointment, we were leaving to go to Tennessee. If you guys don't know, I do live in Florida, so it's about a 14-hour drive. So anyways, we left that Saturday that morning, and usually when you're pregnant, you're supposed to like stop every 3 hours and stretch and walk and let him stretch, because if you're like sitting down, he's in a small space. Anyways, I didn't really do that as much, but I don't think that what caused it. So that night we got to Tennessee and there was like a bunch of family stuff going on. Yeah, I know, first day of vacation and we're already fighting. But anyways, I'm not gonna get into that, but excuse me. So that gave me like really bad anxiety and stress. Also, that week of Thanksgiving, my boss called me and let me go because I was about to leave for maternity leave, and I was like, so that obviously like really set me high off the bar. Anyways, so that night I was having really bad cramps and like it was like really painful, guys, like the worst I've ever felt in my whole entire life. And I was vomiting and it was just very uncomfortable. So my mom's like, we'll take you to the hospital. I obviously was like, let's not do that, let's just like wait it out. I heard that, it could be Braxton Hicks, stuff like that. Anyways, the next day, I was fine. The whole entire week I was fine. My face was like really puffy though, and I was swollen and I was out of breath, which is normal obviously in pregnancies, but I didn't really think anything of it. Towards the end of the trip, I was still throwing up, and I just thought I was like hitting the late morning sickness, or maybe I was eating a lot of junk food that week too, because you're on vacation. So I just thought that maybe that was it too, and my body just wasn't used to it. So anyways, we come home from Tennessee and I was still sick for the 8 days. I thought I had the flu really bad. I was throwing up constantly. I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't drink any fluid because it would just come out, and I was like, this is not really healthy. So that Thursday, I actually made a doctor's appointment and I went to go see my primary care doctor, and they took my blood pressure, they checked my oxygen, everything was perfect. They said they couldn't give me any medicine and I just had the flu and I just needed to, wait, and they couldn't really do anything, so no one could. So that Friday, the next day, I called my mom and I was like, this is not right, something's wrong, I know there is. He wasn't as active. I was throwing up a lot. So my mom called my OB doctor and was like, told her everything, what was happening, and they were like, oh, you need to rush her to the emergency room, she needs to get fluid in her. And so anyways, we left and they took my blood pressure, like an hour of waiting time, which was ridiculous. But they took my blood pressure and they were like, I'm surprised you're alive. And I was like, what is it? And they were like, oh, it's like 190 over like 100 something, which is horrible. They told me that they needed to rush me to baby block and get fluid in me and monitor Gabriel and me and make sure that we're okay. Because when you have I can't talk. When you have high blood pressure like that, you can either have a stroke, seizure, or just pass out. So they rushed me to baby block and I was monitored for about like 30 minutes, I would say. And all the nurses in there, you know, checking, making sure that I'm okay, giving us fluid and everything, just made me have like really bad anxiety because, you know, I'm 29 weeks pregnant. The last thing that I want to do is have my son at 29 weeks. He obviously isn't matured yet. He hasn't grown. He haven't had his development, and you know, I still had things planned. I had my baby shower, my maternity pictures, and I had all that, you know, ready, and I was, you know, I just didn't want to have him early, but his heart rate dropped, and that's when they said, we need to put you in emergency C-section and get him out right away or you're both gonna die. I was diagnosed with HELLP syndrome and really bad preeclampsia, so they were just really making sure that I was okay, and they couldn't wait any longer, so they put me under and they took him out. It took about an hour procedure. One of us code blue 2 times. No one knows who it was. No one could be in the room. It was just me and the nurses and the doctor, obviously. But they took him out. He was born 2 pounds 4 ounces, and he was rushed in a helicopter to 2 hours away from where I live at to be at All Children's Hospital. So I woke up, I was fine. Obviously I was in really bad pain. I still could have had seizures any moment because my blood pressure was still high. Once you have a baby, you still are diagnosed with preeclampsia. So that's why I was in the hospital for 8 days. He wasn't with me. I was really depressed and sad. I was stuck in a room for 8 days. For about like 3 days I couldn't walk, but so that's the full story of it, and now I'm just gonna answer you guys' questions. So a lot of questions that I get asked is when he's coming home. No one knows for sure. Right now he's doing well. He's progressing. He weighs 3.8. He eats a lot, but they say he comes home around his due date, which is February 16th. Right now, obviously, he isn't okay to come home. He's still on the oxygen, but so I can't give you guys a for sure answer, but I think it's going to be either in the beginning of February or in the middle of it. Another question that I get is my boyfriend supportive? Yes, he is very supportive. He doesn't like to be in my videos, so that's why I really don't show him that much, but he works a lot. He doesn't stay here with me at the hospital. It's just me because he does have to work and support our family, but he loves Gabriel and he is a really good father, and that's all I can really say. I'm trying to think of the other questions I have. I'm currently filming on my phone because obviously I don't want to go ahead and buy an expensive camera if this doesn't work out. So I do want to progress my videos. I have a lot of good ideas to do. And I'd like to share the journey of Gabriel with you guys. I think it'd be really interesting as a preemie. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and just comment down below any other ideas. I'm at the hospital currently, so if you guys want to see a day in the life or something like that, just shoot down ideas in the comment. And I love you guys, and thank you.